My name is Carlos Salazar. My name is Carlos Salazar. My pronouns are he, him. My children's names are Jaden, who's 14. His pronouns are he, him. And I have a daughter, Cass, who her pronouns are she, her. Both of my children are trans, and they both shared their journey with me very differently in terms of exploring and expressing their gender identity. And with Jaden, it happened at a very young age where he expressed his gender dysphoria through saying his clothes were itchy. And, as someone who didn't know what gender dysphoria was or what transgender meant, I thought we needed to buy him organic underwear, right? Organic cotton underwear and use free and clear detergent. And it turned out that when we just switched it to boys underwear, even though they were made from the same material, that those suddenly were not itchy and he was more comfortable in those clothes. So it wasn't too much of a surprise when at 10 years old, Jaden came out to me and his mom. And I remember like it was yesterday. I just picked him up from school. His mother had given me a heads up because he had come out to her the day before, jumped in the car and said, "Dad, I want to be called Jaden and my pronouns are he, him." And the funny part about that story is he was actually Jaden for about, I would say maybe a day before we changed his name to what would become his dead name. And he didn't even know that story. You don't want to tell a kid that, their name isn't the first name that they had as the first choice. And, when we shared that with him, it was just kind of funny because it was like, well, that was your name for a day. And that was pretty cool. For Cass, story is very different. Cass has always been more reserved. I actually discovered Cass's, the fact that she was exploring a new gender identity through online profile. I don't know if she knew I had seen or had access to, and I saw she was using she, her pronouns, and I brought this to her mom. And since we had been on that journey with Jaden, we were able to not force the conversation and just say, look, when she's ready, she'll come to us, she'll talk to us about it, and we'll help guide her from there. So we waited about 3.5 years from discovering this information between then and her naturally, organically coming to us and wanting to have that conversation. So again, very different yet similar. They're just kids, and I'm just grateful that they've brought me along on this journey with them. The moment that has brought me the greatest joy has been both of them coming out and us celebrating those identities. So with Jaden, when he came out to me in the car that day, it was like, let's go get ice cream. I can't wait to meet Jaden. And despite maybe some big unexpected feelings that I had, I made sure that with him, he knew that he was loved, that he was safe, and that this change was a beautiful thing and not something to be scared of. And then with Cass, it was, very similar. It was just a normal conversation, right? Just low stakes. It was beautiful because it really aligned with her graduation from high school. I just remember getting her like a rainbow cake from Carlo's Bakery and just like having friends and family and just celebrate her for who she was. It was a very small circle at that graduation, but everybody knew what was happening, and she had been very reserved up until that point in terms of sharing it with the broader, family, our broader community, and the acceptance and level of acceptance that we received, through that it was remarkable. Have an open heart, have an open mind. You're the ones missing out by not wanting to have a relationship with my child. They're the most amazing human beings that I know. I think if you just spend some time with them, I think they would change your mind about the fears and everything else. They're just kids. They just want to be kids. They're not really asking for anything else. They're the most respectful children that you'll meet. So just keep an open mind and an open heart. To all the gender expansive kids that are watching this who may not have a father figure or male caregiver in their lives like me, you're not alone. We're here. We're going to fight for you. We love you. We care about you. We need you here. We need your stories. We need your voices. Keep up the fight, and just know that we are with you.